Hello guys, and welcome to this Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are going to talk about the new Instinct gear that basically came from the Battle Pass, and finally we have gotten the final reward, well, if you have done everything so far, or else you will get it within a week, I guess. So this is gonna be the Instinct set. So I'm gonna compare the Instinct set to the Savage set. Yeah, basically comparing the damage, its usefulness, and you know when and where it is better to use different pieces. Well, basically, let's just jump into this one because the Instinct set has 50% ignore enemy defense and 12% speed. If we compare that to the Savage set, Savage has 25% ignore enemy defense. So, is it obvious that the Savage set does more damage? Well, not necessarily. I think actually super early game, the damage you get from those sets are very similar. Actually, because stats helps more the less stats you have. So, if you only have, let's say, 100 crit damage, and you gain, well, basically convert this to crit damage because you need to have less speed, then you convert it to crit damage. It is actually very big with 12% speed. So, from 100% crit damage to 112% crit damage. It's actually very big. So, let's actually compare the numbers. So I have actually made a little thing here. Let's do this. Boom, boom. Lower this. Here we go. Now, I hope this graph here is pretty reliable and great. I think it is, I used it before. This is basically how much defense the enemy has, and then the damage reduction compared to it. These lines, I painted in myself just to get the numbers. So, basically, Instinct set will ignore 15% of the target defense. So my target defense that I'm gonna basically set is 4,500. And if you take 50% less, then that's gonna be 37 something, 38, whatever. So, if the enemy has 4,500 defense, the Instinct set is gonna increase your damage by about 11 to 15%. And if you convert the speed for damage, it's gonna be about, I think on average, 15% more damage against enemies that has 4,500 defense. But Savage will increase the damage by 20%. So yeah, there we already see that the Savage is better. Now, what if the enemy has 2,700 defense? This is gonna be the defense number the enemy has after you place decreased defense if they had 4,500. So then we take the new number, and then we basically take 15% of that less. And then what do we see here? Instinct is gonna be 12% more damage. I think this is the accurate number, 12% more damage because of the 50% ignore defense. So the ignore defense part is gonna give you a 12% more damage multiplier, while Savage is gonna give you about 20% more damage. So here you start to see the big difference. That Savage is gonna give you basically 8% more damage than the Instinct. But this is not counting again the damage you get from the additional stats, if you perfectly convert them, that is. That is gonna give you on average 3.5% more damage. So, in total, this is gonna be the thing here. Instinct set is gonna give you in total 15% more damage. Savage is gonna give you about 20% more damage. And Lethal set, because it has a 10% stat and that's on average about 3%, is gonna give you 23% more damage. So, basically, Instinct is not as good as Savage, but it's not really that far the damage difference is only 5%. And, you know, if you have better stats on this instinct set, it's gonna be better than Savage. Now, if you had 2 sets of crit damage instead, that would have given you 12% more damage. So instinct is better than crit damage. Also, instinct, savage, and lethal can be used on attack-based champions, defense-based champions, and health-based champions. Pretty great right there. So actually, let's go back to the game. So this set is gonna be really, really strong for early game players that does not have a lot of savage gear or lethal gear for that. So yeah, because I think you can get this Forge Pass very early on, and if you are early game, this is gonna give you a lot of stats, because imagine how hard it is to get the Thrasier. In total, I think you could have crafted 200 instinct pieces. Like, imagine how many runs you have to do to get 200 savage pieces. That is guaranteed 5 to 6 star. And as well, you can use ranked charm or rarity charm on this. With subtag charms, and you know, you can look for a specific piece, a specific bottom piece if you're gonna need that. So, for most players, I believe actually instinct is gonna be better than their savage gear. Savage has better potential, but this is much harder to get. So yeah, this is a great set for beginners and yeah, stuff like that. Also, I mean, I'm gonna use it as well. Probably not on my main nuker, but personally I like to have multiple nukers in my team, so yeah, I'm gonna build out multiple champions, and then I think I'm gonna use a lot of instinct as well. It really depends what I roll. If I roll perfect instinct gear, that will be better than my savage and lethal gear. Think about that. So because, let's look at the other thing here again, plus this one. As I said, 10% stats, like 10% crit damage, is roughly equal to 2.8% more damage. So, if you have 20% more damage on all, like combined on your instinct set, that's not much really, that is gonna give you the same damage difference from your savage gear. If you have 20% more crit damage on those pieces, or speed and trade just converted, or attack or whatever, just converted into your damage. So yeah, it's pretty easy to kind of make up for this 5% damage loss. So, wait, did you actually see my thing? You didn't. But yeah, the 5% difference is really not gonna be hard to make the difference of if your instinct gear is better than your savage gear. I mean, ignoring 15% of the target's defense is still pretty good, and it's gonna give you about a total 50% more damage. Your earlier game has less stats than me, this is gonna be even better. If you're more end game, then this number will go easily down to maybe only 40%. But for me, it's about 50%, and it's very good. It's very good. So yeah. So what I recommend doing is, when you craft your instinct gear, try to only craft it, obviously on the 5 to 6 star gear, and use ranked and rarity charms. So I really recommend using this, because I'm not sure if you're gonna get much more of this. We'll see. I guess maybe there's any dungeon somehow in the future. Maybe. We haven't never seen that before, but we can hope. So yeah, let's craft one piece. Let's see what we get. Speed, accuracy, crit damage. This is not bad at all, actually. Especially if you are early game, this is a insane piece. Let's actually craft a couple more. Let's get this down to 20. Okay, a blue, not really good, but again, for early game player, this is good. With crit damage, and you can roll more. But this is garbage. Absolute garbage. Let's see if we can get a legendary one or something. End the video. Last attack. No, thank you. Early game I would have just kept it. Let's see if you get something better. Crit rate with crit damage. No, thank you. I really want the damage main stat on my gloves. Health. No, thank you. Okay, I shouldn't craft so many pieces. Speed, health. Maybe on a health-based nuker. Somehow, someday. Oh, there you go. 6-star legendary piece. Health, crit damage. Now, I'm gonna keep this 100% because this can quadruple health, can quadruple crit damage. This is potentially a very good piece on a health-based nuker. Or if you want health and maybe resistant accuracy, this is a good piece overall. If you really want accuracy, resistance depending on what you roll. So, yeah. I mean, the set is obviously mostly used for damage dealers because no one else really get anything out of the ignore defense part. But good pieces is still good. Keep them anyways. If they're good because you can use them as a offset piece. So yeah. That is mainly gonna be it for this video. Instinct Gear is a tiny bit worse than Savage, but overall I think it will be a great set if you are able to craft it all with the rank and rarity and some substat charms. Actually, for getting your best nuker build, you can use the Hell Hades site. I really like that one, and just sort by damage, and it might give you instinct set because that might actually be your best gear, because maybe you can't really farm finite stage 25 because obviously if you don't have a lure you're really gonna struggle, and you can probably not even farm stage 20. So I know a lot of people don't have good savage gear, so instinct gear is a really good secondary option. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Craft instinct gear, careful with it when you craft it. Keep a little bit more than you think, because health-based, defense-based, and attack-based nukers can use that gear. So if you don't have a health-based nuker right now, you might get some in the future. And if you don't have a defense-based nuker now, you might get one in the future. So keep that in mind as well. And of course, if you get some bad pieces, you can just sell them, and it's gonna give you a lot of silver enemies. So yeah, this is my finite run. Let's see if we can get a savage piece. Probably not. And the chance of actually getting a legendary piece as well with this is quite low. So yeah, I mean, you have to basically do over 1,000, I would assume 2,000 finite runs to get equivalent savage gear as you can get in instinct gear. I bet. Maybe I'm not counting in the rarity and rank charms here, but I think that's gonna be the average. But a couple of you might have more lucky with one or the other, so yeah. Anyways, it's not a bad set, you can use them in secondary nukers. Let's see what we get. Immediately. Okay, this has potential. Quad resistance, quad speed, maybe a damage piece if it rolls decently. So yeah, that's it. Leave a like, subscribe, and I see you guys in the next video.